Hi everyone, welcome to Notescraft. Today, we delve into the vibrant world of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, focusing on his masterpiece, 100 Years of Solitude. This episode promises a journey through the novel's narrative, characters, and central themes. We'll also explore Marquez's unique literary techniques, the elements of magical realism, and the historical context of the novel. And finally, we'll look at the profound impact this work has had on literature. Now let's get started with a brief summary of the novel. Diving into the world of 100 Years of Solitude, we encounter an intricate narrative filled with vibrant characters and central themes. Penned by the esteemed Colombian author Gabriel Garcia Marquez, this novel is a profound exploration of solitude, love, and the inexorable march of time. The narrative unfolds in the mythical town of Macondo, a place founded by José Arcadio Buendía and Ursula Iguaran, a courageous couple who decided to establish a utopia isolated from the rest of the world. As the story progresses, we witness the rise and fall of Macondo through the lives of 7 generations of the Buendía family. This family saga is rich with a cast of unforgettable characters, each bearing the weight of familial expectations and the tragic curse of solitude. The Buendías are bound by a series of repeating patterns, from names passed down through generations to doomed love affairs, offering a poignant commentary on the cyclical nature of history. The central themes in 100 Years of Solitude are as complex as they are compelling. Marquez masterfully explores the isolation of the individual and the collective, the tension between fate and free will, and the inescapable reality of mortality. These themes are woven into the fabric of the narrative, creating a tapestry of human experience that resonates with readers across different cultures and epochs. Perhaps one of the most striking aspects of the novel is its exploration of time. Time in Macondo is cyclical, not linear, and this unique treatment of time allows Marquez to delve deep into the human condition, raising questions about the nature of reality, memory, and the human capacity for change. In the midst of this exploration, Marquez also paints a vivid picture of the socio-political landscape of Latin America, subtly critiquing the exploitation, violence, and corruption that have plagued the region over the centuries. Having gained a solid understanding of the narrative, we can now explore Marquez's unique literary techniques. Through his masterful storytelling, Marquez has created a world that is both enchanting and thought-provoking, a world that lingers in the reader's mind long after the final page has been turned. Gabriel Garcia Marquez is renowned for his distinctive literary techniques, which breathe life into 100 Years of Solitude. In this masterpiece, Marquez masterfully employs a narrative style known as circular narrative. This technique, which intertwines the past, present, and future, mirrors the cyclical nature of time and history in Macondo, the novel's fictional town. An example of this is the recurring Buendía family traits, where generations are doomed to repeat their ancestors' mistakes, creating a sense of inevitability and fated repetition. Then, there's Marquez's use of detailed and vivid imagery, a technique that paints a rich tapestry of the world within the pages. Take for instance, the description of Melquiades's ghost, captured in such palpable detail that it becomes as real to the reader as any living character. Another technique Marquez employs is his use of hyperbole to emphasize the surreal and extraordinary aspects of ordinary life. Consider the character of Remedios the Beauty, whose beauty is so extreme that men die from merely witnessing it. This exaggerated depiction serves as a critique of society's obsession with physical beauty. Moreover, Marquez uses the technique of intertextuality. He weaves references to various texts, such as the Bible and works of classical literature, into the narrative. This not only deepens the thematic layers of the novel but also situates it within a broader literary tradition. Lastly, Marquez's use of the stream of consciousness technique deserves mention. By immersing us in the characters' thoughts and emotions, he allows us to experience their world from the inside out. This technique is particularly effective in depicting the inner turmoil of characters like Aureliano Buendía, as he grapples with loneliness and his doomed fate. Indeed, these techniques, among others, contribute to the novel's unique narrative style, making it an enduring classic. However, these are not the only elements that make 100 Years of Solitude stand out. Marquez's techniques are not the only elements that make this novel stand out. The use of magical realism is another key aspect that we will delve into next. Magical realism, a unique element that blurs the line between reality and fantasy, is a hallmark of Marquez's writing. Indeed, in 100 Years of Solitude, the narrative is steeped in magical realism, making the extraordinary seem ordinary, and vice versa. Consider the town of Macondo, the setting of the novel. It's a place that exists entirely in isolation from the rest of the world, with its own set of rules and logic. It's a place where a beautiful woman ascends to heaven while doing laundry, where a man lives for over 2 centuries, where blood trickles and navigates streets to reveal a death to a mother, and where a baby is born with a pig's tail. This intertwining of the mundane with the magical is a characteristic of Marquez's narrative style and a key element of magical realism. Marquez uses magical realism to reflect on the cyclical nature of history. The Buendía family's repeated cycles of births, deaths, and namesakes underscore this theme. The idea that time is not linear but circular, that history is doomed to repeat itself, is conveyed through the magical elements of the narrative. Moreover, the magical elements in 100 Years of Solitude also serve to blur the lines between past, present, and future. Ghosts are a common feature, as characters from the past continue to interact with the living, further blurring the lines between the temporal planes. Magical realism, in the novel, also serves a broader purpose. It becomes a tool for Marquez to critique the social and political realities of Latin America. Through the use of hyperbole and fantastical elements, he highlights the absurdity of certain societal norms and political events. In essence, magical realism in 100 Years of Solitude is not just a stylistic choice. It's a narrative tool that Marquez uses to comment on society, history, and time, making the novel a rich tapestry of layered meanings. The historical context of the novel also plays a crucial role in understanding its depth and impact. The historical context of 100 Years of Solitude provides a rich backdrop to the narrative. Let's delve into the depths of this history, shall we? The novel is set in the fictional town of Macondo, which is believed to be a reflection of Marquez's own hometown, Aracataca, in Colombia. This serene setting is disrupted by political unrest, wars, and the arrival of a banana company, all mirroring Colombia's history. The time period of the novel spans approximately 100 years, from the late 19th century to the mid-20th century. This era was marked by significant developments in Colombia and Latin America as a whole. The novel's timeline corresponds with the period of the Thousand Days War, a civil war in Colombia, and the Banana Massacre, a tragic event in which an unknown number of striking workers from the United Fruit Company were killed. Marquez weaves these historical events into the narrative seamlessly, making them integral to the plot and the characters' lives. The civil unrest and political instability shape the characters' experiences, impacting their lives in profound and often tragic ways. The Thousand Days War, for instance, is a recurring theme that influences the Buendía family's fortunes. The Banana Massacre is another significant event depicted in the novel, symbolizing the exploitation of Latin America by foreign corporations. The arrival of the Banana Company in Macondo brings about drastic changes, both good and bad. It ushers in an era of prosperity, but also leads to the exploitation and ultimately, the massacre of workers. Marquez's portrayal of these historical events doesn't merely serve to provide a backdrop for the narrative. Instead, they're intertwined with the story, influencing the characters' actions, shaping their destinies, and reflecting the broader societal and political changes of the time. The historical context of 100 Years of Solitude thus offers a window into Colombia's tumultuous past, providing a vivid portrayal of the events and changes that shaped the nation and its people. Now that we've delved into the historical context, it's time to discuss the novel's profound impact on literature. The influence and impact of 100 Years of Solitude on literature are undeniably profound. Since its publication in the late 60s, it has left an indelible mark on the literary world. The novel's distinctive narrative style and magical realism have influenced countless writers, encouraging them to explore these techniques in their own work. Critics hailed Marquez's magnum opus as a groundbreaking work of art, with many considering it a seminal text of the 20th century. Its narrative structure, which blends the personal and the historical, has been widely imitated, testifying to its lasting influence. The novel's legacy extends far beyond its influence on individual writers. It has shaped the way we understand and interpret literature. It has challenged conventional storytelling norms, inviting readers and writers alike to embrace the fantastical and the absurd, and to question the boundaries between reality and fiction. 100 Years of Solitude has also had a significant impact on the global perception of Latin American literature. It has helped to bring Latin American writers into the global literary conversation. highlighting the richness and diversity of the region's literary tradition. But perhaps the most compelling testament to the novel's impact is its enduring popularity. Over 50 years after its publication, 100 Years of Solitude continues to captivate readers around the world, proving that its appeal is truly timeless. It's clear that 100 Years of Solitude is a literary masterpiece thanks to Marquez's unique techniques, magical realism, and historical context. And that wraps up our exploration of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. We've delved into the narrative, characters, and central themes, analyzed Marquez's literary techniques and the magical realism elements, and discussed the historical context and the novel's profound impact on literature. We hope this has sparked your interest in diving deeper into this fascinating novel. Thank you for watching. Please like and share our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you appreciate our content, kindly let us know what you'd like to see next in the comments down below.